Okay, so we're back. Let's see if we can get our guest. What's up, Matthew? What's up,
Yo,
man?
what's
How you
going
doing?
on? Good, man. How you
Uh,
doing?
good, man. Welcome, Shorty Sneaker Conversations. Thank you for being here today.
Of course, of course. Thanks for inviting
Oh,
me.
no problem, man. And again, I do want to say before we even get started, thank you for your patience with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay. So before I usually get started with the questions, I always ask my guests, "What's the most important thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic started?"
I'd have to say family, value your family. You never know when your last moment's going to be with them. You know, I've lost a couple of people during the pandemic, so that's why I always have that at the back of my head, you know?
Okay. Okay. I got you. I got you. Okay, I'm seeing behind you there. I see some, what is that, cool gray threes, some Timberlands, some,
Yeah, got some pea pods over here.
oh, okay,
Uh,
2007.
yeah, they fell apart though. They need a re-glue. But yeah, I got some 2021 cool grays up there, some Tims, 2011 white cement threes right here. I just wore these today,
Yeah, I
actually.
seen that. You got them custom with the reimagined back tab there. I see you.
Yes, sir. I did that. I actually had them made for me. But,
Nice.
yep.
Yeah, man. Okay. Well, usually, I usually start with sneaker origins and we kind of work our way to now. So what was your first kind of sneaker memory or moment, kind of starting off there?
Um, like early ages, probably like 6, 7 years old. Converse Chuck Taylors. I wanted a pair really bad. And for some reason, back in the 90s, they just weren't everywhere yet. So, I finally found a pair. My mom found me a pair. I think it was like Famous Footwear or something like that. And I ended up getting like a red pair or something like that. But that's like the earliest memory I can think of, you know?
Nice, nice. Converse is my employer, so I appreciate hearing that. That was the first shoe. In fact, this room I'm in is full of nothing but Converse. So I love Converse. But all right, cool. Now, what was that next sneaker that was just like, all right, I'm a sneaker person. I'm in this. Like, what solidified it? You being the
uh,
flute game.
I'd say probably the 2001 True Blue 3 or 0102 Citrus Low 11. That was a grail until that recent one dropped. That 2021 I actually got that.
Yeah,
Um, True Blue 3 though, Red Playoff 11 2001. Those are probably like the ones that solidified it for sure.
yeah. Yeah. Um, I still have those Citrus 11s from 2001. They're the patent leather is cream. I got
Yep,
them in women's 12 at the time because I was more of a 10 and a half 11. Now I'm more 11 and a half 12. When they made them, I think a GS only in 2015, I was working
yep,
for a Tier Zero Nike account in Cleveland called Exhibition, and we released them there, and I wore my '01 pair there just to try to. It's like, yeah, y'all ain't getting it, just kind of some
yeah.
craziness, but yeah, yeah. Now
Yeah,
those are
what?
all really, really good pairs. I remember that black and red 11 from 2001 Christmas was everywhere. I remember it
Yeah,
went on sale a few places because there was so many pairs of them. They were like available everywhere. So
the quality on them True Blue threes in '01 were probably, in my opinion, they were the best retro version of anyone that's been released so far as the True Blue is concerned.
yeah,
I know I didn't get the 16s for whatever reason. I'm not even sure why I didn't get them, but the quality was kind of bad on them. I heard, so I didn't get them. And plus, at the time, I think the price was like 225. Whenever the price on threes was still like 185 or 190 or something like that. I think so.
yeah,
But the playoff 11s or the bread 11s, whatever you want to call them, that was definitely a shoe that started it for me. I'd say. I remember sitting at my friend's house and went to a public school, and at that time, '01, '02, there really wasn't a lot of there wasn't a lot of retro Jordans being worn in my high school, but a buddy came over from a Catholic school and he had the Bred 11s on, and I was hooked right there, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that was good. At one point, I've only got one pair now, but at one point I had three pairs. I got a pair early unnecessarily from this other Nike account we had in Cleveland called City Blue, and I got a pair on release day, and then I got a pair on sale like 2 months later. So I had three. So I was like, I remember wanting them in 1996, and they were really hard to get. I was in high school. So I was like, well, I'm getting as many pairs as I can. I'm grown now. I'm working. It's 2001,
Yep.
Yeah, and then I ended up, I think 2 years later, I ended up getting a pair from 96 as well. So the black and red 11, it's not my favorite 11, but it's still very, very special to me.
Same. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not. I mean, honestly, a Grail still for me is a Columbia 11, and what's another one I didn't get? I don't know, I have a few of them now, so I can't really remember. But Columbia 11 is probably a Grail too. I never got. So
Yeah, that's one that I really wish they would give the OG treatment to,
yeah.
because the pair from 2014, it was all right, but it just wasn't the same.
No, I didn't. I actually didn't get them. But what weren't they called something else? Well, they weren't even called Columbias, were they?
They were,
Weren't
yeah,
they?
they called it Legend Blue instead. So,
Yeah, yeah.
because the blue was a little different. I have a pair of Columbias from 1996, but who knows how that's gonna. If I wear them, I mean, they could separate, what have you. So I
What's
need
really
a new pair.
What's really nice about the 11 though is the midsole isn't polyurethane, so it will never crumble. You
Yeah,
know.
it's just that separation. Yeah, anything OG 10 and up, you're pretty safe with.
Yep, absolutely.
So, yeah. A
The
lot of people
zebra,
don't know about that polyurethane.
the zebra cakes only happen on like the 8, 7, 6, everything below 10, like you said. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a 9 is polyurethane. I might be wrong though. I
It
don't
is.
know. Is it?
Yeah, because it's even pairs from 2012 that are starting to crumble, separate. So, yeah, 2 through 9 is you can't really do as an OG. So, but yeah, okay. All right, now, usually this is where I say, what did you wear today? But you already showed us you wore your custom threes. I just wore
Right.
some red Vans that my son gave me as a gift. So,
Nice, nice.
um, yeah, just trying to keep it versatile.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So
Are those Vans comfortable? I never owned a pair of them.
yeah, they're pretty good.
Are
They're
they?
pretty good. I've been wearing these all day. I mean, I've been driving, and I didn't work today, but I've had them on all day, probably since 7 this morning, and they've been pretty good.
Yeah, I got some Lacoste slides on right now. They're pretty comfortable.
Okay. Now, when did you come out of high school?
2004.
Okay. So when you were in high school, we're talking about all these shoes, that was when the game was still pure, as I call it,
Yes.
To me, the first release that kind of started to change things was the DMP. So that was the first time I really saw regular people trying to resell shoes.
Okay.
But you were in high school from 2000 to 2004. During that time, what release was like the release out of those 4 years where you like, what was that?
Probably '02 Cool Gray 9, probably.
Okay. I wasn't
I was,
expecting that one.
that's yeah, because it was a little bit different in high school for me because again, retro Jordans weren't really being worn in my high school for some reason. Like the fakes hadn't really come out as much. I remember the fakes started coming out really hard in like 2005, 6 after I got out of school. So you didn't really see too many retro Jordans. It was all about the Air Force One in high school.
Okay.
The low top, the mid. The Sheeds weren't too popular, but the low top and the mids were pretty popular. They only came out twice a year back then, so they were a little bit more special. The whites came out in the spring, blacks came out in the fall. But I had every color of Air Force Ones. Like I had so many. Like I had the Lakers ones, I don't know if you ever seen them. The low top, the white and gold with a little Lakers logo on the back.
Yeah, the little LA with the swoosh.
Yeah,
I'm familiar.
I had them with the Kobe and the Shaq and the Karl Malone '04 jersey.
Number 11.
Yeah. I had a lot of Air Force Ones though, and then I kind of like grew out of wearing Air Forces for some reason. I just lost interest in it. I don't know
Hmm.
why. I still like them. I still dig Air Forces, but once I started getting them J's, that was it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll say I was in high school from 1995 to 1999. So for me, the two releases, because I mean, retros came out like at the end of 12th grade. So you kind of had to know where to get them. It wasn't like a shoe like everybody had the black and red for and the white cement for. For me, it would probably be a toss up between the Flint 13, which was 11th grade, and the black
Okay.
and red 11, which was ninth grade. It's probably a toss up between those two. Because I mean, they were so popular, like some of the gym teachers even had them. Like,
Yeah.
it was crazy. But I guess I should have asked before I even asked you when you came out. Like, what region or what area are you located in?
Pittsburgh, PA.
Oh, you're from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Gets Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
he's laughing. That's not good. You from Cleveland, huh?
Yeah, I'm from Cleveland, man. I hate the Steelers. I hate the
I,
fact that y'all were smart enough to make all y'all sports teams one colorway. Black and yellow. The Penguins, the Pirates, the Steelers. I
yep.
wish Cleveland had it like that. I mean, we don't even have a logo for the Browns. It's just a helmet. So, you know, but yeah, I love the Browns. So, I did have some Steelers paraphernalia. I used to have the Jerome Bettis Airbus Max, but the Steelers colorway finally crumbled on me in 2020. So it lasted
Okay.
from 98 to 2020. The white and photo blue is still intact, but I'm too afraid to wear them. So I had a Steelers jacket to go with that. And every time I would be around my father and my uncles, they'd be like, fuck you wearing? You know.
I
But I'm
remember.
like, well, it's to go with the Bettis. So
Yeah. I mean, I went to a Cleveland Cavalier game in like 2009. I saw the Lakers play Braun back in 2009 there,
I was at
and
that.
you were at that
I
game. It was
was
a
at
re-
that game.
that was a really close game, and then Lakers pulled away in the second half. I remember and won. But
Yeah.
they kept putting that Steelers logo up, and everyone was like, "Boo!" And
Yeah.
here I am with a Lakers jersey on and a Steeler fan. I'm like, "Oh
They
man."
still do that at
I'm sure
what
they
used to
do.
be the Q. It's now it's a Rocket Mortgage, but yeah. Like I always remember because me and my girlfriend at the time we had really good seats, and it was her 21st birthday. The seats were crazy expensive, but I remember I was right in front of Kobe when he was posting up LeBron, and he shot that turnaround fade away, and it like went way up. It came down. I was like right in front of him. Like
Yep.
I've been a Lakers fan since I was a kid, so I'm Cleveland everything except basketball. I love the Cavs, but the Lakers are my team. So, my dad and I have been going to see the Lakers since the Cavs were at the Coliseum in Richfield. So, to be there with somebody that wasn't him, it was weird, but it was my girl, and she was into basketball, so it was cool. But yeah, that was a great game.
It was.
That was
It was definitely a good game.
one of the best games I think I've been to. Okay, okay. But yeah, I like the way that you post your fits, on Instagram. You're real consistent with it. Um, I'm
I try to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna shift gears a little bit and go away from my normal format, and we'll just talk about kind of what you're what you're feeling now. Like we're more than halfway through the year now. What do you feel like this year's release is for you?
Um, for me,
Mm.
um, maybe that DMP 11.
Okay,
Is that even confirmed? I heard it was coming out.
that's 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 what they say. I feel like it's a little soon, but yeah, that's what they say. I was hoping it was gonna be the Columbia. Some people were hoping for the Gamma, but I've never been a fan of those. So
You see, my whole collection's based on nostalgia. Like everything I buy, there's like usually a purpose or a meaning behind it. Like I was a big collector in like the mid 2000s. So like the military fives, I gotta have them. The burgundy fives, I gotta have them again. Um,
absolutely,
the, the citrus 11s that were a grail, I had to get them in 2021. Like they're all just very nostalgic for me. So, but yeah, I was never really into the gammas either. You know, but them DMPs though, those are nostalgic for me. Because back in the mid 2000s, they were a hot shoe to have or get.
yeah. So I still have the original pack.
No, you still have that pack?
But I bought the sixes again because the six is the one Jordan that no matter how it's colored, I'm gonna at least look at it and be like, it's like my favorite Jordan to wear because I'm also very big on nostalgia, not just shoes, but with sports, with music, with cartoons, with all kinds of stuff. That's why I try to post all that on this page. But I'm kind of the same. I mean, I'm thankful I was an adult in the early and mid 2000s where I could buy all that stuff, and I'm enjoying the fact that a lot of these lifestyle retros that were LS back then, they're just sitting now. Like,
What
I knew
happened, man?
nobody was going to buy the Chambray 7. It looks a lot different from the '06 pair, but
The,
what were you going to say?
what about the citruses as well? Citruses, the Cambrys.
Yeah,
How about the Cardinal joints? They're just sitting. You know, you can still get them in all sizes. You know, I
yeah,
mean, they're not LSs though. I mean, I don't even is lifestyle even like a thing now? It's all like special edition now, right? Isn't that all like the premium stuff now? Isn't that what they call it, SE now or something?
yeah. Like they got rid of lifestyle when they started doing the countdown packs. So,
Yeah,
but all of those releases, because lifestyle only lasted from '04 to '07, but a lot of those releases were coveted, back in our time. And now they're just these kids don't care. I mean, to me, the Cardinal, for it to be an OG from the '90s, is one of the most boring and uninteresting sevens because for me, a seven isn't a seven if it doesn't have the zigzags on the tongue.
yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I
I know the
respect it.
Cardinals and the Olympics, but you know, like,
Yeah, and it's. I mean, I had the Cardinal 7 back in like '06. I had
mm,
that release or '05, whatever it
yeah,
was, and I sold it for like nothing. So like, I always wanted to rebuy it, but then for some reason I just let it. I don't know. It's still sitting there. I haven't bought it yet. You know,
yeah, it's still around. I mean,
the
the
citrus
'06
is.
pair is the pair I wear, but the
Yeah,
citrus is another one where I was hot. Remember, it was hot in '06,
yeah.
but
Oh yeah, it was a hot shoe, man.
yeah,
I don't know what happened though. I really don't know what happened. You know, some
I
it's.
just,
I really hope the burgundies and the militaries don't stick too, though. You know, because those shoes, those are some dope colorways back in the day. You know.
yeah, it just seems that if the shoe isn't a Jordan 1 that is Chicago Bulls or UNC colored, or any Jordan 4, it's gonna it's gonna sit or get returned.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid to wear my '06 burgundies, so I'm going to get another pair, but I know nobody's gonna care about them.
Breaking up a little bit.
Oh, I just said I plan on getting another pair of burgundy fives because I know they're gonna sit. I know nobody's gonna care about them, other than
Yeah.
people like us.
Right.
You know, because those were hard to get. They were a lifestyle. Only a few places in Cleveland had them. They made a bunch of clothes to go with them, which I still have some of. I like to have a newer pair. I just hope they make them just like they were. They don't change the color, because then all those clothes are going to be useless.
Yeah. I mean, what about the do the right thing clothes? I mean, I still have like all kinds of clothes from those shoes back in '07. You know, back
Mm-hmm.
then it was so much different with Jordan gear back then. You know, everyone had it. You had to have it. Now, it's like you seen someone with a Jumpman shirt on. It's different now. You know, you just don't see it a lot anymore. You know what I mean?
Nah. Jordan sportswear isn't big like it was. To me, if you see people wearing it, it's usually people like us that live and breathe the shit.
Yeah. I mean, I still got my cool gray 3 track jacket from '07 and
Nice.
my green bean hoodie from '06. I still got the green bean '06 hoodie. Not in good shape, but I still got it laying around somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was another hot shoe as well that is sitting like now. Everyone's like making fun of that shoe now, you know, the green bean 5, you know.
Yeah.
And it
And
was a it
those.
was a hot shoe
Yeah. Yeah. And
back in the day.
those weren't a lifestyle, but they could have been, because I remember those and the Shy Pink 5 for women came out the same day. I was able to sit on those Shy Pinks until they got down to like $60.
I
I bought a
had them.
women's team. So
Yep. I had them in a size. Back in the day, I was like a 9.5. I'm a bigger guy now, so I'm like a 10.5 now. But back then, I was like a 9.5, so I had like an 11 in them. But I got it for like $40, you know.
mm,
And my ex was a Foot Locker worker. She was an employee, so I used to get that 30% all the time, you know.
yeah, that's a lifestyle. You get used to it.
Yeah,
Um,
all
touched
the
on
packs, all the countdown packs, man. Oh man, it was a time to be alive. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, Foot Locker was in the mid to late 2000s. It was my side hustle. So I
Okay.
I was able to benefit from that because I worked at this. I don't know if y'all might have had them out there. It was this buy sell trade store. It's called CD Game Exchange, where it's like music, movies, DVDs. It was like a grassroots version of GameStop. That was my regular job at the time. So I had to lock on the music and the games, and I still had to lock on the shoes. So to be in my 20s, I felt like I had it going on. You know what I mean?
Oh, I hear you.
But getting back on the regular format, you were uh, a teenager in the early 2000s. So what clothing brands were you gravitating towards while you were wearing these sneakers?
Jordan brand. Like we just spoke about, like all the clothes that matched all the lifestyles. Actually, I wore Lacoste back then too. I still wear it today. Mostly like polo shirts. Um, I mean, early 2000s, it was a lot different. Like, Pele Pele,
Mm-hmm.
Wu Wear, a big Wu Tang fan. I used to wear the Wu Wear Wallabies too. I used to collect them actually.
Man, that's the time right there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Fat
Okay.
Farm, like I used to wear all that shit back in the day. Rockaware.
Yeah. Now, what's the sneaker from high school that you loved back then? You may have had it or not, but you wouldn't wear now.
Chrome 8 probably. Here's the thing. I love eights. Like these Peapods, I love these eights. But
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, I have trouble rocking certain shoes now that I'm older. Even though I still love them, like the eights. For some reason, I have trouble wearing them with my pants. Like the way I wear tapered pants, I don't like the way they look with them. So I gotta wear jeans with them. But then jeans don't look right with a certain fit. Like I'm really picky about what I wear. You know what I mean? So. But like probably a Chrome 8 or something like that, or any 8 probably. Like it's hard for me to wear certain numbers now. Like my lifestyle fits. I feel like my style and my age, I fit like a 3, a low 11s. I love low 11s for some reason. Um, I even like low 6. I like a lot of low cut shoes now for some reason. But I don't know. I guess I'm just getting old. I don't know.
I feel you on the eights because it's got so much curvature at the top. They don't always look right with jeans. Um, like I wore my white the hair eights. It's been within the last month, and I like how they look with shorts. But yeah, I think if I don't know, I've been able to wear them with some jeans, but usually it'll be a jogger or a sweatpant, or a short with eights. Um, Sevens and sixes, fives are easier to wear. Fours, but I feel you like a lower cut. So if they came out with some more low cut nines, you probably would rock with those.
I would wear a low cut 6, 9, 11, 12. I'd wear all low cuts and a lot of them numbers. I just like them. I dig them now for some reason.
I got you.
I've been getting
Yeah,
back into Air Max ones too. Well, actually, one of my boys on here, he actually got me onto Air Max ones recently. So I've been trying to cop a lot of them too
a
lately.
good time for it. I mean, they've been doing the Air Max one like they've been doing the Air Jordan one, just constantly.
Yeah, that's constant. Yeah, definitely. You have to be selective with them for sure. But
Yeah,
I love the Air Max one. It's a very, very comfortable shoe, and all the materials are always A1 on them.
I got you.
They're kind of like the SB Dunks of Air Maxes, is what people say.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
And that's another topic too, is dunks. Like mid 2000s, I was really into dunks. I used to go on eBay and just look at shoes all day long as a kid, and I used to love them. Tiffany dunks, the pigeon dunks, some of them Atmos packs, like the Air Max ones back in the day.
Hmm.
A lot of them they're worth like $30,000 now. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. That's why. I mean, I was glad. I was fortunate that when they brought the Atmos Elephant back in 17, I was able to grab a pair because I always wanted the 2007. But even when I got my money up where I could afford it, it's still kind of like a wear risk. You know what I mean? So same thing with the Animal Air Max one.
Yeah, the Instinct one.
Hmm.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, it's like I had to just wait for the retro because the original retro is too much of a wear risk. But I guess I'll flip the question and then be like, what's the shoe that not necessarily grail, but a shoe you didn't necessarily like back then, but you kind of wish you had now?
Probably Fire Red 5, probably.
Okay.
I had like 3 pairs of them back in '06, and for some reason, I think I had bad luck because the quality on them just wasn't too good, and I didn't really know nothing about fixing up kicks or restoring back then. So if a shoe started yelling or getting dirty or something, I just got rid of it. You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was kind of a novice, but like that's probably a shoe that I would definitely like to see come back. You know, Fire Red 5, like the way it came out in '06. You know.
Yeah. Because the pair from 13, I mean, they look the same, but the quality is even worse. I actually need a pair of those because when we moved down here, there were about maybe 5 or 6 shoes from that era that just didn't make the trip. You know, like my Mars fours and my military fours, both the wings broke off of those pairs. But I'm bringing back '99 fours and the wings are still on there. I'm like, how is that possible? You know,
Yeah, that's actually something really interesting about the '99 Fords is the wings and the back tabs don't crack on the materials for some reason. But anything above that, they all fall apart, you know.
mm-hmm.
But the wings they're replaceable, man. You just glue them right in. You know, you could buy, you know, you could get someone to make them for you for sure. But just depends on how far you want to go with it, you know.
Now I'd rather because they since they brought back the Fire Red Four since we moved down here in 20, um, they're just gonna be in the box. But I do need a pair of military fours. People hate on them, but I love those. Like I actually love the military four more than the Fire Red.
That's actually another shoe. I forgot about that shoe actually. I'd probably rather have the '06 military shoe back now today than the Fire Red 3 or the Fire Red 5. I forgot all about that shoe actually. I had yeah, I definitely had that release. It was like '05 or '06. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was military. Yeah, military was '06 because it came out after the Fire Red. Um, okay, okay. I'll tell you a shoe I always wanted that you have right there. I never had the Peapod 8 or that Anthracite 8. I never had either of those, and I always liked them, but I just never grabbed them.
Yeah, that's the Peapod was a really good made. It was a well-made shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it didn't come out in my region. It was only available in like I believe Chicago or something. So my connect through Foot Action, they ended up ordering it through like another Foot Action. They had it delivered to the store,
Okay.
and materials are just A1 on that shoe. I love it.
Yeah, we got them in Cleveland, but again, there was only 2 lifestyle accounts in Cleveland, which was used to be called Next, but now it's called Exhibition, and City Blue. Those are the only places that had them. And I remember seeing them on the shelf, but I just never got them. I mean, in 2007, I was really I was still on my SB thing, and of course, other retros, but I was really heavy on LeBrons.
Yeah,
I still am, but looking back, I'm like, yeah, I could have just waited a week, got some LeBrons later, and just got those Peapods. Because I got the Aquas and I got the playoffs, but I never got the Orange Blaze or those 2.
did you have the 2015 Aquas or the '07 Aquas?
I actually had both, but
Yeah.
my '07 Aquas are in the box crumbling. So
What was the
uh,
best, in your opinion? What was the better release, the 15 or the 7?
the 15 looks more like the 1993 pair, especially with the glitter and everything, because
Yeah.
I have a OG pair as well, and they got the glitter on them. A lot of people think that they don't, but they do. And I never was a fan of that really dark gray on the '07 on the back. It was too dark.
I had that release, but I sold it. But I never got the 15s.
Yeah, the 15. I mean, and what's crazy is um, they didn't fly out of the stores. I mean, at one point we had them they were part of the buy one get one sale that we had. So we had so many of them. Those and the chromes. The chromes really didn't do anything, but there were so many aquas where it was sort of almost like the black and red 11 we were talking about 2001. It was kind of like that. So,
Yep.
but yeah, I love that 15 aqua. I actually would like to get a dead stock pair because my pair is worn pretty well. It's not beat, but it's worn more than I'd like for it to be.
I had the
So
women's aquas too. I remember I got them for like $40 too back in the day. They
yeah,
were just sitting everywhere. You know.
yeah. I got a lot of the same pairs.
Yeah, you got them too, the women's ones.
Yeah, I should have. My wife at the time, she got the retro pair. I should have got them, but I still have the '07 pair because really up until the countdown packs, I was touching almost everything because of how my money was at the time. You know,
Okay.
there wasn't much that that I missed between 1997 and like '07.
Okay.
The
That's
countdown
something I really,
changed everything.
yeah, they really did. I was gonna say, that was like in my like peak like collecting era right there. And if there's anything I really wish I still had was the majority. I had almost all of them. You know, I had pretty much. I had pretty much I had pretty much the complete set with missing like maybe like four pairs. You know, and
Yeah,
I mean individual pairs. You know, so like I was missing like two packs. You know, but I had that beginning moments pack too. The old love, new love. Um,
yeah,
the mids, and man, back in the day the mids were hype, man. You know,
yeah.
it
Well,
was different.
they weren't even known as bids because I remember the
No,
shoe game. It posted one of my statuses because I said in the status, if you were into Jordan ones before 2011, you aren't bothered by mids.
exactly.
You
I
know, because
feel
they were all made that way.
yeah, exactly. I remember getting a pair of like shadow ones, and they were highs, and I was like, why is the tongue so big on these? You know, I was like, I didn't even realize they were highs. You know, that was probably like 2011, 12, and they were sitting too on the shelf, just chilling. You know,
Yeah,
no one was buying them. You know,
and I've never had that old love, new love pack. I was a Foot Locker employee at the time, but what they used to do because I was in a mall with a Champs and a Foot Locker, they gave us the clothes and they gave Foot Locker the
I
shoes.
hated that shit,
You know,
man. I
and I'm
hated
like,
that.
you know,
They
oh, go ahead.
they used to always do that, man. They put a pair of shoes in one mall, then they put the clothes in the other mall. Or it was different back then, man. You know.
Yeah, but I tell people hate on that sometimes. I'm like, if you love the black toe one, that's the most accurate. Yeah, it doesn't have the Nike Air and the height isn't the right way, but the black toe OG had a black tongue. That's the only black toe that has a black tongue. A lot of people like, oh, I didn't even realize. I'm like, yeah, I know. You know, but yeah, that's not that bad of a shoe. I wish I had it, but I would want the whole pack. I don't even like the new love. I know that's perfect for y'all being in Pittsburgh, you know.
Right? You can't be wearing them colors out that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, honestly, no, it's a lot of Steelers fans in Cleveland. It's a lot.
Yeah,
The point where in the WalMarts, it's when they have the little sports clothing sections. It's Steelers stuff there like it's Brown stuff. It's crazy. It's a lot of Steelers fans in Cleveland.
I mean
There's
back
a
in
lot of
like
Steelers fans down here too.
yeah. Oh, where you at now?
North Carolina. I'm in Greensboro. Down here, 'cause nobody outside of Charlotte really fucks with the Panthers. So it's either the Steelers or the Cowboys down here.
Okay.
You know, because I guess those are the teams that, and there's a few red. I don't even know what they're called now. I'm just gonna say Redskins. There's a few Redskins fans trickled in, but since the
Yeah,
Panthers are still so new, I guess the Steelers and the Cowboys were the teams they were shown in this area back.
there's Steeler bars everywhere, man, all over the country, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got our Browns backers too. We don't have y'all this year. We're gonna have y'all
Yeah.
this year, but well, we kind of made it to the halftime portion of the show. So now I'm gonna ask you some either or questions. Um, so if you could only have a shoe in either a black and red or bread or UNC, which way are you going?
Black and red.
Black and red. Okay, figured as much. Figured as much. All
Yep.
right. Now, with you being from Pittsburgh, I know you're gonna say Steelers probably, but if you had to choose between the Penguins and the Pirates to win a championship, who you choose?
You said between the Penguins and the Pirates?
Mm-hmm.
The Penguins.
Okay. Okay.
Pirates haven't won since I think 1979.
Yep.
And
Yep.
the Penguins won. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with dates. I think it was 2000. Oh man, I can't even remember. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to embarrass myself. It's been a few years though, but it's been lots. You know, it's been definitely a lot less years than 79 to now. You know.
Yeah. And I know that the Steelers haven't won since what 2008.
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay.
I think it's the Penguins before the Pirates. Yeah, the Pirates are just they're so disappointing, man. I can't even talk about them fools, man.
Hey, I know. You know. I know. You're paid there if you're from Cleveland. All right. Um, lineup or raffle?
I'm gonna have to say raffle because even back in the day, I wasn't really waiting in lines because I had to connect. My ex was a Foot Locker employee, so I never had to wait. So anytime that was involved, I hated it. So the raffle thing, I'm actually more into that, and that's actually kind of rare coming from someone that's been around for as long as I have. I guess
Yeah.
people always are surprised by that answer.
Yeah. Nah, I get you. I get you. Okay. Okay. So, black cement 3 or black cement 4?
Three.
Black
I
cement
never
3.
I never owned the black cement four or the white cement four. It's actually kind of embarrassing. I've been looking for them to restore, but even in beat condition, they're through the roof.
Yeah.
But I still love them shoes though. I mean, I love the fours, but
Sure.
black cement three.
Okay. Um, dunk high or dunk low?
In 2002, high. Now low.
Okay. All right. Um, I feel like I'm one of the only people that still like the high more than the low, and they're close in the numbers I have, but I still have more highs. I feel that. I feel that.
I feel like certain people can wear the highs really good. You know what I mean? They look good with shorts, but for me personally, I'm gonna go with the lows.
All right. All right. You you guys had a villa down there, right?
Sneaker Villa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I used to work for them 2010 and 2011. And you guys have Hibbett now, right?
Yes, I believe we do. I don't know where one's at, but I know that there's one around. There is one around here, I believe.
I got you. I
Never
got you.
been to one though. But Sneaker Villa was actually a place where I tried getting the '07 cool gray threes there actually. Went down real early, no line, went in. They already sold them like weeks before they came out. You know,
Well, I will say, because I remember that being a thing. I remember they flipped the dates with that and the Fire Red 3, where it was supposed to come out one day and they switched it. It was the weirdest thing because I never had the cool gray 3 until 20 because of that. Because yeah, it was like January, February 25th and March 25th, and they flipped the dates. So that's probably why that happened.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
But whenever I went home that day, though, they only had a 14 on the shelf at the time. I went in there. I was like, I need that cool gray three. Where's it at? And they just like laughed. They were like, that's gone. And
Yeah.
I was like, well, didn't it come out today? And they're like, yeah, but sorry, they're all gone. I'm like, well, where's everyone at? I was so mad. But I was also really new into buying Jordans.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted a pair. I just wanted them threes so bad. So I went home and I think I even paid like 30 over retail for them back then. I paid like 190 for them things,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Because
I have
oh, go ahead.
That's actually one shoe I have like five pairs of.
Wow.
I have three pairs of the 2021s and I have two pairs of the 2007 still. It's my
Okay.
it's my it's actually one of my favorite shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. I always liked them. I was glad to get them when they brought them back. I never had to do the right thing 3 either. It was one of the few where I'm like I don't really like them. I respect them, but I don't really like. I probably you know um, probably wouldn't wear them. So, but if they came out now, I might would give them a look.
I respect it.
I might would give them a look.
I don't think they'll ever release any of them those Spike Lee joints ever again. You know what I mean? I think they're all done.
Yeah.
That was like a one-time thing only. Like I remember whenever the OG Spike, the Spiz Light came out, and people were just in a chokehold over them things, man. You remember that?
Yeah, 2006. I remember. They actually brought that first one back a couple years ago. I was shocked because remember the first time it was only 4,032 of them for the 40 acres and a mule thing, and that black and green and red one was the first like regular one after, and we only got those at one Foot Locker in the whole city, and they were limited. But they brought them back, and they were just a regular shoe. So I don't
And
know.
it's just crazy. And same with them other those like fusion or what were they like? They were like taxi fusion. Air Force One, the Fusions. But it
Mm-hmm.
was the first ones that came out. People were waiting in line overnight for them
Yeah,
things. You
that was
know?
like Taxi. Yeah, I remember that. 2007. Those was good times. I mean, I still have all my Fusions. People hate on them and laugh at them now, but I love the pairs I have, and I liked it because since they were doing them in OG colorways, some of that apparel that came with it was nice. You know,
Yeah,
like when they did those Aqua 8 Fusions, I was over all of that stuff just to wear with the Aqua. You
same.
know,
Same thing, man.
so
I had a few of them. I still have a pair of low cut nines. I cut the grass in them now, but I
mm,
still got them.
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, as we kind of go back to talking about how the game is now, or sorry, I'll just say present day. What's the holiest of holy grails for you?
Like, you mean like in the modern era,
Mm-hmm.
or
Well,
like
any shoe, but like you need it right now. Like, not talking about them, but like you looking for it right now. That grail that
uh,
you.
I'm still looking for the Alma Mater 3, man. I still want that really bad. My buddy got the fours. He got two pairs of them actually, and for some reason they keep going down in price. I know.
Yeah,
I think they're down to like 350 right now or something like that. You know,
yeah.
but
The three, it's the only one that has some value, like value.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say the Alma Mater 3 though for sure.
Yeah, I wish I had those too. You know,
It's a dope shoe,
they
man.
had a bunch of releases of them, and I didn't really because I didn't like them at first, and then the last sneakers release they did, I actually tried for it, and I was upset. And then they were like around three, four, but now they're like 900. I'm like,
Way too high, man.
ugh.
Same with them Off White fours, man. I was one of them too.
Yeah, that was a tough L. I'll tell you, a tough L for me recently was the Lost and Found. Like I've been riding with the Chicago's forever. Like I have a pair of '94 ones that I break out ever so often. The last time I wore them was to go see Air, but I needed that 2022 Lost and Found, and then um, they did the restock on them. This chick I was talking to hit for me, and then Nike canceled the order, and we stopped talking shortly thereafter. Not because
I
of
heard
that.
about that.
It was like the last domino to fall. It was messed up, but yeah, the L's are hard. I was actually gonna ask you that next. What's the biggest win, and then what's the hardest L you've had to take? We'll say just since the pandemic.
Hardest probably Alma Mater 4. That was a hard one. Trying to think of can't think of anything else really. Trying to think. The lost. I do remember hearing about the Lost and Found canceled orders, but I didn't get that shoe. I didn't try for it, but definitely the Alma Mater 4. That was definitely a tough L. Um, can't think of any other ones right now.
Yeah. Another tough one, and I have every other release of it, but I'm unwilling to pay resale for it. It's just the Flint Grade 13. Like that was what let me know that shit was different with shoes during the pandemic because I always say the first few releases you could get the purple Chicago's as I call them, those Court Purple 2.0s. You could get the DMP6. You could get the
Yeah,
Silver Tongue Fire Reds. You could just get them. They were just
yeah.
there. But that Flint 13, I'm like, I can't believe I didn't get this shoe because I was working for Foot Locker again at the time, but it was like my main job. It wasn't a side hustle, and our store was still closed because the mall we were in was dead and it was falling apart. So I was going to other Foot Lockers and working, but it was just messed up. I just couldn't believe it because you know how it is. You hear full family, you like, it's a million of them bitches. It's full family. But
Yeah.
I couldn't get it, and I still don't have the 2020. I have the 10, the '05, and the '98, but yeah, I still don't have it, and I'm sure I'll get it, but I just can't pay resale for that shoe. It's a regular shoe.
I hear you. No, I definitely respect that, man.
Yeah. The only others I can really think of that really bothered me, that Blue Pata Air Max 1, and I really wanted the off white too low just because it looks so original.
Yeah, I tried getting that one too. Actually, I forgot about that one. I took the L on that too. The off-white low.
Yeah, because I have
But
the white and red low from '05 or '04 rather, but who knows how long that's gonna hold up.
yeah, it's a gamble, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
my countdown pack taxis are still got the original glue. They're not separated or anything. They're still perfect.
Yeah.
And I didn't wear them like really heavily, but they were rotated, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
To me, those countdown packs were made really well.
most
Most
of
of them.
them, most of
Yeah.
them, yeah. The
At the same
the
time.
the, the Black Cement 3, that one fell apart pretty bad on me. The back tab crumbled really quick, and it fell apart like 2 or 3 years after I got it actually. But it's been revived and brought back. But I think it's just luck with some of that stuff, man. You
Yeah.
know, the materials, the glue, whatever they're using at the time, and on top of that, the storage and the methods you use to keep them, and you take care of them basically.
Yeah.
Not many people understand that humidity and dryness and coolness has a big part to play in shoes separating.
Or how silica
So
packs can make a shoe last a lot longer than it would have beforehand. So
yeah, not many people know about that.
yeah. That's why my Shot Pink fives are still wearable because I had like a million silica packs in the shoebox. But other fives from that series have already bit the dust. My olives have crumbled. My stealths have crumbled. My grapes. Um, yeah, only the burgundy, those black UNC fives, Shot Pinks. I think those might be the only ones left that don't have some crumbling to them because of the silicone.
Yeah, them
So
fives are that's a tough shoe, man, to keep in the game after that many years.
yeah, and I will say, I mean, you know this. They made those lifestyle pairs so much better than the GR pair. This is like
Oh yeah,
night and day almost the quality on them.
oh yeah.
For only $10 more than the regular GR colorways. So
Materials were way better on them LSs, man.
mm, mm,
Way better.
mm, yeah. Okay. So as we kind of get to um, the end, what direction would you like to see your collection go in the future?
In terms of like what what else do I want, or like you mean I don't know. Like I've been chilling for the most part lately. I haven't really bought a lot of J's lately.
Mm-hmm.
I did forget about them Fear Threes. Those are a definite for
Yeah,
me at the end of this year. I'm actually really looking forward to those. Um,
me too.
that might be the shoe of the year for me actually. I'm weird with shoes, man. I like I don't know. Like I remember them coming back. I remember them coming out back in the day, and I never had them. You know what I mean? And I just love the colorway. But
Yeah,
as far as the direction, though, man, quality has been slipping in my opinion with a lot of stuff lately with retro Jordans, and I'm chilling on J's for a while. But Air Max ones, I want to continue to build my collection there.
oh,
Um, but I definitely want to keep building, but more strategically.
gotcha,
You know, more selective.
gotcha, gotcha. Okay,
I
okay.
want to I want to keep like finding stuff to work on too. Like I really appreciate finding something that was made with really good materials and it's crumbling, and then try to bring it back to life. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Soul swap or whatever it is.
Sure.
But yeah, we're storing more and being more selective with certain releases.
Gotcha.
That's probably the direction it's probably going to head for me.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Other than the shoes you named, are there any other shoes on your radar for this year?
See, Fear 3. I do want that DMP. I don't have the release thing in front of me right now. I'd be able to tell you a couple of them. I can't think of anything off the top of my head though. Nothing that's really standing out there. I don't know.
I got you. Yeah.
Is there any sixes? Is there any sixes coming out? You
I
know,
don't think so, but I could be wrong. We're kind of old now, so I might just be forgetting.
I tell you what though. Back to your question about what was the biggest W. I found the Carmine sixes at the outlets, and they were not B grades. They weren't stamp B. I think they were
Mm-hmm.
just. I mean, they look A1 to me, and I got them for retail, so that was a pretty big one for me. You know, that was another shoe that I wanted from back in the day. I never had that countdown pack, the 17 and the 6, and I wanted it so bad, but it just kept getting so much higher and higher, and I eventually just let it get away. You know. So when in 2021, whenever I found that Carmine, that was a that was a pretty big one for me, you know.
I got you.
But
I got you.
I never run dead stock it though. It's still dead stock. So I don't even know if I'll wear it, you know.
Nah, I got you. I got you. Okay. Um, so lately, Instagram has been cutting me off after an hour. I think we started at 8:05 or 8:06. So for these last few minutes, did you have any questions for me?
Yeah. On your page it says you're a Nike Talk. You were on Nike Talk back in the
Mm-hmm.
day. Is that like a discussion forum?
Yeah, it was kind of like a pre-social media meeting ground for sneakerheads. So you had a discussion forums. You had a "What did you wear today" on there, where we were hosting our pictures through Tiny Pic. Doing that. But that's where I mainly used to get a lot of my information from about shoes when they were coming out, because they had it broken up into um, Jordan brand, Nike Retro, regular Nike. They had other brands, and then they had the general part, which you had a music one. You had "What did you wear today?" It was all broken up. It was really nice. It's still there, but it's not like it was because everybody just has social media now.
It's so much easier now.
Yeah,
Forum etiquette in general is just dying, you know. It pretty much is dead, you know. But
yeah,
I remember like going on a lot of that stuff and just like watching it back in the day. Like I remember like Perfect Pair.
yeah.
Um, that dude, he was always on there back in the day, and he still collects, you know.
Yeah, he's the way his setup is. I would love to have it like that because I'm in between two houses right now. So none of my uh, none of my heat is really where I'm at. That's why I call this the trap. But um, you know, but yeah, I love Nike Talk. I was on there heavy from like '01 probably until '09.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. Then Facebook started having groups, and it was just more convenient to do it there. I mean, Nike Talk never really. Once we really started using our phones and less on the computer, that's where it kind of changed for me.
same. Yeah,
Uh, um, but yeah, another good place. I mean, you had In Style Shoes, which is like Nike Talk's rival, and then you had NSB, NikeSkateboarding.org. I used to be on there a lot too.
yeah,
Trying to be up on the SBs when Cleveland finally started getting SB accounts.
yeah.
So
I remember in style shoes. I remember that for sure.
ISS.
Yep, I remember, man.
Yeah,
I never had an account or posted on there, but I remember looking at it back in the day.
yeah, yeah.
What was one of your what is your all-time shoe? Like, what is your favorite shoe?
Um,
Like as far as like a Jordan, like a retro Jordan.
oh, Chicago one.
Okay, respect
Um,
that.
I mean, I have one of every number, but those '94 ones, since I've literally had them since eighth grade, and I can still wear them. If I had to get rid of all of my shoes and start over, hope to God that never happens. That's the one pair I would keep and just start over with because, um, I mean, back in the '90s, kids used to laugh at me for wearing that shoe, calling me the clown shoe and everything. And now
Yep.
it's, I mean, in its present condition, even though it's wearable, the soles are pretty oxidized, but I wouldn't change it because I've had them for so long. I would just rather buy another pair and just have two. But
Yeah.
that's my favorite shoe in my collection.
Okay. And what is your how many shoes do you how many shoes are in your collection at this time?
I don't really know.
Approximately.
I, huh?
Approximately.
Probably 14,
Okay.
1,500.
That's a nice number.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shoes.
Yeah. I mean, I know certain numbers of certain collections within the collection. Like, I know I've got 74 Jordan 1s. I've got 178 LeBron's. Like I know certain numbers, but I don't. I don't know. I know it's 4 digits, and I know I've got almost my Converse are probably around like 450. So certain ones, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
I hope you have a good homeowner's insurance policy, man, because that's a hell of a collection.
Yeah, I do. Fortunately,
Hell
fortunately,
yeah.
I'm very
Have
thankful.
to, man.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
but I'll be honest with you, man. If something happens, I mean, I would get the money, but I don't even think I would start again. That would just be it for me.
I definitely respect that.
Yeah, it would just be it because it's not just about the shoes, but the memories attached to them, and
Same.
just remembering where I was at when I bought these, why I bought them. Um, you know, uh, um, so yeah, it's I'll be honest with you too. I mean, my part of why my collection is scattered is because I'm in the middle of a divorce. But you know what I mean. Like once I get everything together, it's it's gonna be epic. Y'all are gonna see it. It's gonna be all over the ground.
Nice.
Man, my shit looking like 2J's kicks, urban necessities. I'm gonna try to have it like that.
Urban necessities. Hell yeah. I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to that for sure.
yeah.
Good luck, man.
Nah, I appreciate that, man. Um,
Yeah,
want to ask,
absolutely.
what's my number two? My number two shoe would be the Magic Johnson Converse Weapon.
I had a lot of them back in the day too.
Yeah,
The
like I wore the
weapons.
Larry Birds yesterday, but Magic is my favorite player, so I've got maybe 5 or 6 pairs of that shoe in different releases, different materials. So, hoping Rick Owens makes a pair of those like he did the Larry Bird. So, but yeah. But I really appreciate you being here. Thank you again for your patience. You got a wonderful
It's no
collection.
problem. Thank you.
Before it cuts us off, let everybody know your socials so they can follow you.
It's Flu Game 85. Um, yeah, FLUUGAME 85.
Yeah, for sure. Now, one last question: what made you go with that name? I'm sure you were born in 1985, but why the flu game part?
That was my favorite moment of Jordan, man. That game, you know.
Yeah,
I loved hearing stories about that. Even though I didn't get to watch basketball in the '90s, I didn't watch him in the '90s, but like whenever I got older and I started learning about the shoes and I started watching all the games and the replays, that stuck out the most to me. Him against the Jazz and everything, you know.
for sure, for sure. Okay, man. Well, again, man, I appreciate you being on here. I'm definitely going to be in touch with you, seeing what's up with you.
So
Um,
please,
for sure, man. We're definitely going to talk. This has been a pleasure, And
yeah.
thanks to everybody watching. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all soon. No
Thank you.
problem, man. Peace.
All right.